Finally, NVIDIA acquired ARM for $40 billion. The deal has been rumored for weeks, but actually happened and ended up as the semiconductor world's largest ever deal. The deal was tantamount to dropping a bomb in the middle of the chip industry. In the last video, we've talked a lot about NVIDIA itself and the overall semiconductor industry through like the Moore's Law, Intel CPU. Finally, we scrutinized NVIDIA's core technology, the GPU. After looking back at the past days of NVIDIA, we promised to talk about NVIDIA's future in the next video. Today, we'll talk about the NVIDIA's GPU and find out how the specific technology can apply to the actual industry, starting from AI, cloud computing, data centers to the autonomous self-driving cars. Welcome to the second version of NVIDIA's video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Then, let's get started. A new era of computing. Intelligent machines powered by AI computers that can learn, reason, and interact with the people are no longer science fiction. Today, a self-driving car powered by AI can meander through a country road at night and find its way. An AI-powered robot can learn motor skills through a trial and errors. This is truly an extraordinary time. The era of AI has begun. Here is a lovely speech from the Jensen Huang. I love this paragraph and its lines highly unveil the future of the technology. In 1995, the PC Internet era was sparked by the convergence of low-cost microprocessors, the CPUs, a standard operating system, Windows 95, and a new portal to the world of information. The PC Internet era brought the power of computing to about 1 billion people and realized Microsoft's vision to put a computer on every desk in every home. A decade later, the iPhone put an internet communication device in our pockets. Coupled with the launch of Amazon's AWS, the mobile cloud era was born. A world of apps entered our daily lives and some 3 billion people enjoy the freedom that mobile computing afforded. Today, we stand at the beginning of next era, the AI computing era, ignited by the new computing model, GPU deep learning. In this era, the software writes itself and machines learn. Soon, hundreds of billions of devices will be infused with intelligence. AI will revolutionize every industry. But here's the point. This miracle is powered by NVIDIA's GPU. GPU Big Bang. The legend started. Artificial intelligence is powered by deep learning. This learning process asks the computer to input a tremendous amount of data at once and to process and learn it immediately. As we talked a lot about the first version of the NVIDIA video, the number of the cores and the architecture of them is the main difference between CPU and GPU. Easily speaking, CPU is made of a small amount of like 3 or 4 cores to the serial or sequential work process, but NVIDIA's GPU is made of hundreds of cores and do the parallel computing process. So this is highly benefited by the NVIDIA's GPU. Here's the 2 major events that opens the era of NVIDIA by making the GPU a standard for developing the AI, 2013 ICML and the ImageNet. At first, 2013 ICML. The International Conference on Machine Learning, which is called the ICML, is the leading international academic conference in machine learning. Along with the newer IPS, ICML is one of the 2 primary conferences of high impact in machine learning intelligence research. ICML 2013 was a great year and a breaking through for NVIDIA. The name of the paper is Building High-Level Features Using Large-Scale Unsupervised Learning. In 2013, NVIDIA announced that it has collaborated with the research team at Stanford University to create the world's largest artificial neural network built to model how the human brain learns. The network is 6.5 times bigger than the previous record-setting network developed by Google in 2012. Computer-based neural networks are capable of learning how to model the behavior of the brain, including recognizing objects, characters, voices, and audio in the same way that humans do. Yet, creating large-scale neural network is extremely computationally expensive. For example, Google used approximately 1,000 CPU-based servers or 16,000 CPU cores to develop its neural network, which taught itself to recognize cats in the series of YouTube videos. The network included 1.7 billion parameters, the virtual representation of connection between neurons. In contrast, the Stanford team led by Andrew Ng, director of the university's Artificial Intelligence Lab, created an equally large network with only 3 servers using NVIDIA GPUs to accelerate the processing of big data generated by the network. With 16 NVIDIA GPU accelerated servers, the team then created an 11.2 billion parameter neural network, 6.5 times bigger than the network Google announced in 2012. The bigger and more powerful the neural network, the more accurate in the tasks such as object recognition, enabling computers to model more human-like behavior. After the 2013 ICML, GPU publicly became the center and the core technology to the AI developers. The second, ImageNet. ImageNet Large-Scale Visual Recognition Challenge, in short ILSVRC, is the International AI Technology Contest. As the name suggests, the contest is mainly deal with the image recognition of the AI, like evaluating algorithms for object detection and image classification. Starting from 2010, this contest has been highly motivated the development of the AI technologies and laid ingenious start algorithms. When we take a look at the winners of the year, we can easily find a timeline of developments. In 2010 to 11, the winners' algorithms are built on the shallow architectures, so the developers laid a sort of arbitrary result. But starting from 2012, the game is changed. After AlexNet became the winner of the year, the era of deep architecture, namely deep learning, started. AlexNet is the name of Convoluted Neural Network, shortly CNN, and they implement the GPU to win the 2012 contest. After that outstanding year, 300 teams among the 400 implemented GPU in 2013, and in 2014, all of the teams used a GPU. Thanks again to ImageNet, NVIDIA's GPU became the leader of winning trend. Yes, that's it. These 2 events ignite the fire on the legend of NVIDIA's GPU. Then let's take a look at the NVIDIA's future plan and their portfolios. I'm pretty sure that you guys come to this video for this moment. Let's talk about why NVIDIA's stock price is not that high enough and pretty large margin and is rising. I'm sure that NVIDIA is one of the most attractive stocks in this day's report. It has been one of the most performant stocks, but I'm sure that it will be either. I will give you the reasons. Number 1. CUDA, the platform. You may not actually realize it, but GPUs are good for more than the video games and scientific research. In fact, there's a good chance your daily life is being affected by GPU computing. Mobile applications rely on GPUs running servers in the cloud. So this is one of the major reasons for the ARM NVIDIA deal, mobile gaming and computing. NVIDIA wanted to rule the mobile market and they're trying to acquire the ARM. Anyway, let's go back to the point. More physically, offline and online stores use GPUs to analyze retail and web data. Websites use GPUs to more accurately place advertisings. Engineers rely on them in computer-aided engineering applications. So the accelerated computing using GPUs continues to expand. A key role in modern AI, the NVIDIA CUDA Deep Neural Network Library, which is called the CUDDN, is a GPU-accelerated library for primitives for deep neural networks. No longer is it something just for the high-performance computing, the HPC community. The benefits of CUDA are moving mainstream. So, what exactly is the CUDA? CUDA is a parallel computing platform and application programming interface, the API model created by NVIDIA. This platform relates gathering with the GPU. It allows software developers and AI engineers to use the CUDA-enabled GPU for general-purpose processing, an approach termed GPU. The CUDA platform is designed to work with a pretty large amount of programming languages such as C, C++, and Fortran. This accessibility makes it easier for specialists in parallel programming to use GPU resources, in contrast to prior APIs like Direct3D and OpenGL, which requires advanced skills in graphics programming. Easily speaking, when we use the CUDA for programming the GPU, you can use the languages whatever you want. It is a miracle. You don't have to learn the other specific languages and skills for each of the new formats. Until now, GPU programming was only used among the real experts, but now, thanks to the CUDA, it's highly lowered the entry barrier to the development and also expanded the developers' ecosystem. And now, CUDA is recognized as a standard of AI development. And I forgot to mention it, CUDA is an acronym for Computed Unified Device Architecture. Yes, at this point, compatibility really matters. We are now in the era of platform which is not an exclusive model. In the past, some of the high technologies should be protected under the name of exclusion and patent. But now we are living in the era of open and sharing market. Let's figure it out in this way. Think about you made a special and startling technology and acquired a patent and make it exclusive to any of the users and companies. Okay, it's really good. But if then, no one would use it and that greatness will be buried in the history without anyone notice the specialty of your idea. Otherwise, what if you choose the other way? Invented a technology and make it compatible with every sources and support them under the name of the platform. Then naturally, many people will gather around your platform and surprised at how great it is. If everyone is on your platform, then you made the industry. That is how the IT business and other branches work in these days. And that is why we're getting used to the words like open, platform, cloud, and etc. Then let's go further to the next section. Number 2, Data Center, featured by AI. Without any doubt, data has power. The data war is the main arena among all of the IT companies because the potential of moving us forward is at the data. Then who's going to be the winner? Since the winner takes all credit. In this aspect, NVIDIA is pretty outstanding. At the very beginning, NVIDIA starts to extend the usage range of the CUDA, the GPU, and they sincerely support the user's adaptation and customization. Then NVIDIA slowly but steadily becomes the standard base camp of the AI development. Since the AI and the machine learning is based on a huge amount of big data, they need to enlarge the data capacity. Along with that, for smooth and rapid data process, the demand for cloud computing has been increased. Therefore, they need to expand the data centers. This is how NVIDIA naturally dominates the data. By following this flow, they have been actualized their big plans on the data centers. In truth, the data war is already on the uneven playing field. I mean, it's good for the NVIDIA and its GPU. GPU's competitive advantage can also be applied to the data centers. For the CPU-based data centers, they have to add the numbers of the servers to enlarge their data capacity. For the GPU-based data centers, however, they can divide one server into many numbers. Easily speaking, since CPU is serial system, they have to add the servers and chips to process many data. But GPU is parallel system, they can divide one chip or server into many different processors. This is not only good for the efficiency of data process, but also it can surprisingly cut down the money. This greatness attracts many giant companies to convert their base servers from CPU to GPU. This trend accelerates the growth of NVIDIA's market valuation. In May 2020, NVIDIA announced a customer list of the new A100 Tensor Core GPU. Here's the list: Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, Baidu Cloud, and Tencent Cloud, and the other giants. Thanks to this, NVIDIA's data center revenue has been skyrocketed without any roof, and their sales related to data centers per the entire revenue jumped from 7% in 2016, and now it becomes 27%. It's easy to predict that NVIDIA % advantage in the next generation. AI-driven computing will eagerly deploy their devices in large quantities the budget will allow. Again, the money tells the story well. Gartner anticipates that augmented data center architectures with AI will create $2.9 trillion in the business value in 2021. Number 3. Self-driving. And now we're getting into the final one and the hottest topic, autonomous driving. NVIDIA, the chip maker, has been working on a new business model in the automotive sector by moving away from supplying commoditized chips to delivering end-to-end platform to automakers and developers interested in autonomous vehicle development. To make the car drive itself, the sensor attached to the car has to analyze the image in the real time. At this point, high-quality GPU is essential. The revenue from this sector is only accounted for 6% of the entire NVIDIA's revenue, but its sales skyrocketed 22% after 2016. It's a remarkable growth. It means that the importance of NVIDIA's GPU is growing together with the self-driving industry in tandem. NVIDIA is not only making the GPU chips for autonomous driving, but they also now developing the entire self-driving industry. Like us, NVIDIA worked with a gaming company and developed the entire gaming industry. And like us, they make the compatible AI platform CUDA for developing the entire AI industry. In one part, NVIDIA applies self to upgrade the GPU chips, and on the other part, they're supplying self-driving chipsets such as Orin, Xavier, Pegasus, and the AI self-driving solutions like DGX Super POD. The switch to a different automotive model has shown signs of promise. NVIDIA struck a partnership in Daimler AG, who is the owner of the Mercedes-Benz, in June to build a software-defined architecture to power the German giant's next-generation fleet of cars beginning in 2024. NVIDIA will build the AI computing infrastructure and self-driving applications for Mercedes-Benz using its Drive autonomous driving platform, unveiled earlier this year. The automaker says that the NVIDIA Drive enables a self-driving architecture will be standard across the company's fleet. So Mercedes-Benz could give NVIDIA's automotive business a shot in ARM, though it will take a few years for the partnership to move a needle for the chip maker. However, the acquisition of ARM could help NVIDIA accelerate its automotive development, as the ARM already has a wide presence in this space. Here comes another fundamental reason for the ARM and NVIDIA deal. ARM's automotive advantage. One of the key reasons why NVIDIA has decided to buy the ARM is because it believes that the combined expertise of the both companies could help them to make the dent in the AI development. After all, ARM has already been working on the automotive AI through various partners. For instance, the likes of Qualcomm, Samsung, Daimler, Audi, NXP Semiconductors, and MediaTek has already been associated with the ARM for their self-driving car development. The ARM has also been making a stronger push into the self-driving car development itself of late. It introduced a new chip design meant to handle the data stream coming out of the sensor of the autonomous car in the real time in the late 2018. Last year, ARM announced a partnership with Toyota and General Motors to standardize chips and systems that could go into the self-driving cars. The group is looking to create a common architecture that could enable automotive original equipment manufacturers to develop a standard self-driving software that can support the hardware from different vendors. The ARM is expected to complement NVIDIA's self-driving initiative thanks to the former army of more than 13 million developers, who can now use the graphics specialists' existing expertise in autonomous hardware and its software computing stack. As a result, NVIDIA's autonomous vehicle called AV Computing Stack could get stronger and help the company unlock the huge opportunities that it believes could be worth billions in the coming years. According to the NVIDIA, the total addressable market for the AV computing stack could hit the $25 billion by 2025. So all is not lost for the tech giant's automotive segment, and its latest acquisition could act as a catalyst for the overall growth. So this is why everyone is applauding that NVIDIA is the company of the future, not the present. They are actualizing and makes true the future technologies. NVIDIA is smart enough to know that their technologies could be used in a different and diverse ways, and they slowly but steadily dominate the AI wars. And now they are also developing the brain of the autonomous vehicle and pioneering the ways to rule the self-driving industry. NVIDIA's AV is not even yet started, but they are already in the middle of the market. By looking back at the past decades of the NVIDIA, they have certainly made a history. Now, we are standing right here at this point. Look at the upcoming days. How far NVIDIA will go after 10 years. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please subscribe to my channel and show your thumbs up. And I will hop around the world and bring lots of thousands of funny stories to you. Let's hop around together. Thank you, and see you again!